Coming off the bye week, what were you guys doing to kind of stay focused, not have a game this last Saturday?
Well, I think anytime you have a bye week, and ours came early in the season, it's a real opportunity to just get your players rest. And the 3 weeks of fall camp, followed by 3 consecutive games, we needed rest, and so that was kind of our agenda as we approached bye week, was to make sure that our players got adequate rest. I don't worry about losing focus. I think it's good to at times step away from and be able to step away from the intense focus that this sport requires. And it was nice to from my standpoint to sit at home on Saturday and watch college football, not have to worry about prepping for a game and things like that. So I think we used it as well as we could to get that rest. We came back with practice yesterday. Our players look fresh. Their legs were fresh, and so now we're excited to be back into game week.
Before we talk about the South Dakota preparation, just getting there, how different is that than, say, taking a drive to Oregon or Southern California? We talk about the differences going into this week and getting there.
It's not easy, obviously. We'll lose a practice day on Thursday because that's going to be devoted entirely to travel. As we look, we leave Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. We'll bus down to Sacramento, have a flight from Sacramento to Denver, bus from Denver up to Fort Collins, which is about an hour or so. So it's going to be a day, Thursday it's devoted entirely to travel. And then Friday we'll try and practice locally in Fort Collins and then on up to Rapid City. And that's about 6.5 to 7 hours, that drive. And to play a Saturday night game, back on the bus after the game, travel overnight for an early flight out of Denver Sunday morning back to Sacramento, get back to campus here probably around 6 p.m. Sunday evening. So it's not easy. And I think back to last year when we played South Dakota, they bussed from Rapid City here to Humboldt State, and they didn't return from their trip until sometime on Monday. So we're not the only ones that have the difficulties. And obviously we've known that with this game there's going to be some scheduling. It's not an easy place to get to, just like Arcata is not an easy place to get to. So, but again, our players do know how to travel. We've done that. It's not been a topic of discussion at all this week. It's what it is, and it's where we live, and there's actually positive things that go into it in terms of the time you get your 54-man travel squad together and have that opportunity to really have 48 hours to make sure that they develop that focus. And so come game time Saturday evening, we are at our best, and I think we've always traveled well here at Humboldt State. I don't expect this to be any different.
Losing a practice, how important are the practice days on Monday and Tuesday this week? Just going over the game plan and getting the guys ready.
Well, it was nice to have a bye week. We just practiced twice last week with the intent being, like I said, to get our players rested, but we were also able to get a little bit of a jump start on South Dakota. And started on Thursday looking at them, and then normally Monday's not a practice day for us, but because we're coming off the bye week and we do lose the Thursday practice, we went ahead and practiced on Monday. So we'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and starting today it'll be a business as usual, normal routine for a Tuesday, and then tomorrow a normal routine for a Wednesday as we get ready to go. So there's certainly we've got a lot of film time in. We'll have enough practice time, field time that we'll be ready come Saturday.
So what is that game plan against South Dakota? Obviously, you guys will continue to do what you're doing, and the offense, the running game, outstanding on defense. But what is the game plan this week for South Dakota?
Game plans always begin with Humboldt State. We want to be as good as we can be in all 3 phases. And so really before you talk opponent, we talk about ourselves and where is it that we need to improve and get better, and really put ourselves in position to take that next step here in what is week 4 for us, and so we work, and there's so many areas that we can still get better at, and we'll get better at, in terms of our overall execution. So that's a lot of it. And then obviously you spend the week with the players, digest whatever the game plan is that the offensive coaches, the defensive coaches will come up with. And certainly when you talk about minds, we've got our defense will have their hands full. This is a very good offense. They have 3 players in the top 8 in the rushing category in the GNAC. They've got returning newcomer of the year in the quarterback, Trev McKinney, but they also have another quarterback in Sullivan that is also effective. 2 freshman running backs that have produced for them 2 big tackles, 165, 167. They've got a good offense, and it's similar in scheme to what we do, and I hope that helps us a little bit in our preparation. But again, they've been able to move the ball, put yards up, put points up against everybody they've played, and so we're going to have our hands full there. And then offensively, it's continue to do what we do and do it effectively. And again, with Jaquan Gardner and Richard Doctor at the running back spots, and Robert Weber playing the way he has behind that veteran offensive line, good things have happened thus far, and so we just need to continue to build off of what we've been able to do in our first 3 games.
Do we see on both sides this weekend, both teams putting up a big fair amount of points?
I hope it's not a shootout. I don't want to get into a shootout. That's really not our MO. Again, but it's going to be. It certainly has the potential for that. If you look at, we're number 1 in scoring offense, or number 2 in scoring offense, right behind us, and their offense is ranked in the top in most every category. So our defense will have their hands full. But I also believe in our defensive players and our defensive coaches, and the plan we'll come up with. But it's you got a long trip. It's going to be the weather's not going to be great according to the forecast. A high of 49 with rain on Saturday, and you're playing in a hostile situation. There, it's their homecoming game, I understand. So there's going to be a lot of motivation on certainly their side as they start conference play. And for us, it's a conference game. It's a critical game, with our goals being to be in this thing to the end for the conference championship. So again, this is it's not the South Dakota Mines that we saw a year ago. I can promise you that. They are a much improved football team. Doesn't have to make that bus trip from Rapid City to Arcata. They're going to be rested. They're going to be fresh. They're going to be excited to play their homecoming game in front of their home fans. And they are 3-1. And so this is a vastly improved South Dakota Mines team.